Legends. I click the Streameruniente button. We have a lot to go through today, Legends. We're going to go through frickin' Bitcoin. We're going to look at gold. I've actually got a lot to talk about gold in terms of inflation adjusted. Look at that resistance on the root of the area I was talking about. Guys, normal gold price. We're going to go through BTC and gold in terms of the ratio between the two. We'll go through some altcoins like we always do. We'll go through Bitcoin as well because BTC is doing exactly what I said in our previous video last week. I was talking to you about how I do think Bitcoin will come and retest the lows again. We actually came up and did it twice. We had double hit to get your entry at around 108, 107, 108k. That's where I'm long on 3 different exchanges. My bot is long. I've got 2 manual trades as well, long for about 108. And you can see this green line is my bot. But guys, I do think actually we will result in going high here. I said the 786 is where we're heading. And I then do think actually Bitcoin will... We'll go into that in a second, the higher time frames. But we'll start with gold. Because actually, in the inflation-adjusted chart I've been talking about, this is the 2011 highs. We've got PT in the building. This is the 2011 highs for purchasing power. So this is gold / M2SL. So you're essentially taking the price of gold and you're actually doing an equation with the money stock of M2. So it's not just taking it's not just doing the price in US dollars, which is $4,000. This is taking into account inflation. So M2 money supply. So you can see, Legends, that we already have had, I think it's around a 9% move off the high, actually. In terms of inflation adjusted, let's actually look at the actual gold price itself in terms of the actual percent move we've got. We're looking at a 9.6% move down already from when I was saying I do think gold will actually see itself. Well, let's just see some resistance. It doesn't have to be the top necessarily. I think actually what gold will do, I think gold in terms of purchasing power will come back down to probably levels below, a lot below 2011, because in 2011 was the top of a raging bull market. You can see right here. This is the price of gold. This was the 2011 high, the top of a massive bull market for the price of gold. But what I'm saying, I don't think gold will actually end up resulting in the price coming down to $2,000 again. I don't actually think gold will ever go back to $2,000 per ounce again. I think gold will much more likely do something like this, where it arcs out very similar to the 2011 bear market, or you could call it the sideways range. Actually, if it ended up doing a cup and handle and breaking out anyway. So you could even say it was a cyclical bear trend within even a longer term bull market. The terms bull market, cyclical bear trend, bull market. But anyway, I don't think gold's going to come back to $2,000 just because we have more circulating supply US dollars in the system. It's very similar, like saying, you know, it's not good. You're not going to get paid by your job £1 a week like you did in the 1800s. So I think gold will actually have some sort of sideways, if not slightly down formation for probably when it actually tops out. It might take between 1 and maybe even up to 10 years. But I would say, because you got to remember, guys, from 2011, gold only broke out really until around 2023. So you're looking at, yeah, over 10 years of sideways, if not down, flat. So it could be another 10 years for gold to go sideways and down. I would just say this, though, because of the expansion of the currency supply, or the US dollar circulating supply is growing so rapidly, what we might see is the sideways and down being slightly less long in time. Because I don't think, if you look at the amount of M2 money stock, the M0, M1, M2, M3, M4, the rate of quantitative easing is extremely high in comparison to any other point in history. Bro, can you... Petey as well. Let's just mention Pete in the building. What's crack-a-lackin', mate? I heard you've got a bad neck, mate. What happened to your neck, bro?
I don't know. I actually don't know, but I had a few beers and I was wrestling with my mate, and maybe I slept funny, and then I can't actually look up or down today. It's really hurting.
So the chart
in the last few days.
Pete,
I need like a neck brace. Where do you even get those from? I've only really seen them in movies.
Mate, if you came on stream today with a neck brace on, I don't think I would be able to do the stream. I'd just end up laughing the whole time. But mate, you've got the correct color as your background today for the charts of gold. Red days.
Yeah,
Peter Schiff got it wrong. Peter Schiff got it wrong. He's gonna go and smoke a bong. Anyway, yeah, what we're talking about. So gold. Look, it's what I'm trying to say is that the purchasing power of gold is at the same as what it was in 2011. I think the purchasing power will come down. I don't think we're going to go to 1971 levels. Let me just let this chart load. It always takes a while, this chart, to load for some reason. But this is the 1980, actually, exactly 1980. 1979, 1980, this was the highest point of purchasing power and kind of recorded our, let's just say, contemporary recent history. But I don't think gold's going to go that high. Because this was essentially a shock from coming off the gold standard in 1971. The purchasing power now is around 2011. So I do think the purchasing power will come down, but the price will not, guys. And because we know that the price of something and the value are two different things. The quote from Oscar Wilde, which is, "A fool knows the price of everything and the value of nothing," is literally, it couldn't be more valid at this point in our society, if not the globe. The amount of people who just look at price, they know the price of everything, but they actually don't understand the correlation between value and price. I would say that 99% of people don't understand the difference between those two things. So that quote, "A fool knows the price of everything, the value of nothing," couldn't be any more significant at this point in time. And it's just, this is what, gold going up in price like this, because you're seeing it with all those people queuing out. They're queuing outside gold bullion dealers to purchase more gold. Everyone thinks it's a good time to get in, but they don't realize that actually they're buying the top of purchasing power. It's the same with the stock market. Everyone looks at the stock market. If you go onto SPX here, right now, most people will call, it can't go any higher. It's doomsday. How can these recorded all-time new highs the whole time? There must be some sort of massive doomsday 1920s style depression coming. Legends, this is not how it operates. The stock market is going up in price, but it probably hasn't increased in value this year yet. Still, it's still not above 8% inflation. So I'd say that the stock market, just because it's going up in price, it doesn't mean it's getting any more valuable. It doesn't mean all the stocks and shares and indices and everything. It doesn't mean all the companies in the stock market are all just getting better and better at what they do. It might look like that. That's the funny thing. It might look like that. Everyone just thinks everything's getting better. But the association between things going up in price and that thing being better is detached now. There's no correlation between the two things. Just because your stock price goes up doesn't necessarily mean the company's getting any better. It's just that there's a similar amount of stock in the economy, but there's more dollars bidding on the same amount of stock. So it's a bidding war. And if there's more dollars bidding on the same amount of stock, that means the price must rise for it to stay at the same value, but the price goes up. Anyway, I've spoken about this a billion times. Just go on any chart and then just do /M2SL, and then you'll get the price of that asset divided by the M2 money supply. And that's what you really want to look at, because most people aren't thinking in terms of inflation. They're thinking in terms of price. And even gold. Here's a great, in my VIP group, literally earlier this morning, by the way, we're going to the long to short ratio on Bitcoin as well. I'm going to drill down on this and give you how I've been using this indicator in an even more advanced way to give me some insane entries. But what I was saying is, before I went on a tangent with that, so in my VIP group, I did a video this morning with Jack, and I was basically speaking about this. I was saying that people look to the government to get the inflation rate data. The data that they're actually giving you is trying to tell you how much prices are going up and down. So that in itself is ridiculous. They should give you the data saying how many more dollars have we printed, or how many more, so inflation or deflation, how many new dollars have we inflated, how many less dollars are in the system that we've deflated through raising and lowering interest rates, and also doing reverse repo and pulling money out of the system and back into the system. The government should give you that number. They should tell you how many new dollars that we created. That's the percentage. That is what they should do, but they don't. They make it really difficult, and they say, actually, no, we're going to tell you what the prices are doing, so we don't take the blame for actually the result of why prices are going up. Because if they told you how much money they printed, and then you went to your shop, what you would see is that perfect correlation between the amount of currency printed by the government and the prices of the things. They would pretty much all go up and down at the same rate. Obviously, we know that CPI, which is Consumer Price Index, that means each individual item you buy in the supermarket don't all go up in the same price, exactly the same, because there's also supply and demand. If you have a country where no one eats beef, and then suddenly the next day they're like, everybody wants to eat beef, that's going to change the prices of that market as well. So you have to take into account what the rate of new created currency is in that economy, as well as what is the supply and demand of the thing. Because if everybody wants a television tomorrow, guess what? It's going to be a reduction of price, and the supply is going to go up. So that's going to affect the prices as well. But my point is this. The government should tell you how much they print and how much they don't. What you can actually do, though, with the price of gold is if gold was at $1,900 in 2011, okay, and now today it's trading at $4,000, okay? But if you look at an inflation-adjusted chart, you can see that the purchasing power of gold is the same, actually less still today. So if 1 ounce of gold at $1,900 will buy you the same amount of things in 2011 as it would today at $4,000. So when you know that the value is the same, so the purchasing power of gold is the same, then actually what you can do here is say, well, this is actually what inflation is. Now you have a way of looking at the price of gold and saying, well, if the price of gold has doubled but the value has not, that means the government must have doubled the currency supply. In this case, it's US dollars. The reality of the chart is telling you that the government had to double the supply of US dollars from 2011 till today for it to be trading at $4,000 with the same purchasing power. So this is essentially a check and balance for you to look at and say, this is what true inflation is. This is inflation. Not what they tell you. The government, what they tell you with their inflation rates is a load of bollocks. It's just a way to confuse you and push them away from the blame of why prices are going up. They don't want to take any blame. They want to look good. They want to get re-elected, and it's essentially a political ladder. They don't want to actually tell you the truth. They just want to get elected and have the power to make decisions. So this is actually what you should do, is look at the price of gold, because there's no way that they couldn't have doubled the circulating supply of US dollars from here to here at the price being here. Yes, gold can go into bubbles, so it can go over and under, but generally speaking, if you took a moving average, you would say this is the moving average of new currency creation. And gold is the best thing to do that with, because if you did that with Bitcoin today, the vol is too high, so it's too difficult. It goes up and then it goes down 80%. It still could work with a moving average, but it's just not as clear as gold, because obviously we know gold is the highest liquidity pair to US dollars. So the most traded thing with gold is US dollars, and we know that the market cap of gold itself is $27 trillion. So the price discovery between the two is the best. And if you're going to buy gold with US dollars, you have extremely low slippage, and price discovery is very good, because the only way you can actually change the price of gold is by having probably $1 trillion to really change the price. But with Bitcoin, if you had $1 trillion, you could basically moon Bitcoin to $1 million in one candle. You could do a fucking God candle. Anyway, I don't know if this is like, maybe I'm talking in like too quickly about this, but is this making sense, Pete? When you hear me speak about this, does it make sense? Do you think the average person can understand this?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I just think a lot of people want to know where is the top or the bottom.
Of course. The thing is, I think the top is in. I think the top is very okay. Let's just roll it back to just when's it's a good time to buy and sell. I don't think it's a good time to buy gold. I think the purchasing power is at 2011 levels. I think it could go to 5,000 for sure. It wouldn't surprise me to see gold go and do this multiple times up, and then it actually ends up doing its top. Okay, it's unlikely it's going to go all the way up. It's not going to look. Charts don't really look like the Burj Khalifa. They don't go up and then down at exactly the same rate. They usually have at the top, they have like a bit of a jaggedy area, and you can look at any chart. Look at the Bitcoin chart. So even here, the last local top, it's not like a sharp up and down. It's usually they have a little bit of fucking around and retesting at the top. So I think that, let's just go on a normal price of gold. I think that gold will likely top out about $5,000, but it doesn't mean it can't do something like this, where it comes down, it goes back up again, then it comes back down, and it goes back up again, retests it, and then it goes a bit lower, and then it goes a bit higher, and then eventually we get it. And these will be all the opportunities. These types of buying and selling moments will be the opportunities when it starts to go flat and sideways, and then it will roll over. It's unlikely it's going to suddenly just go all the way to its high, and then suddenly that. Because markets like to retest, and it's about decision making. Fundamentally, markets are about decisions being made, and human beings, especially when it comes to price markets, aren't good at making decisions, and they'll be in and out, buy and sell. Oh, is it the top? Is it not the top? It's impossible to just everyone to say, now we all buy, now we all sell. There's a transition period between individuals making decisions, whether they want to buy or sell. So I think we've probably got, with gold, I would say bullish seasonality into the end of the year. It then goes sideways through Christmas. We start getting the jaggedy, jiggedy crap. I call it a crocodile top. So it's like this, and it looks like the teeth of a crocodile. It's just like for ages. It might even take 6 months. And then I think it's a sell in May and go away scenario for gold. And probably going to summer next year, we begin to see gold go at least flat and sideways, if not down. And I have a whole strategy built on the back of this with Wavemaster. So if you go on our indicators, I'll actually quickly whip it up. It should actually be, I'm on the weekly timescale, so this should work nicely. I think I either use it on the weekly or the monthly, but you bring up Wavemaster on just the normal price of gold, so not inflation adjusted. It's a very risky business, guys. Well, you can't even do it anyway because there's not a derivative of it, and it won't be on exchanges. But I'm not saying go and trade the visualization of the purchasing power of gold relative to the M2 money supply. I'm not saying do that. That's fucking ridiculous. I'm saying look at this to give you a barometer of when the top or bottom might be in, and then actually trade the price of gold with a normal denomination in US dollars, not inflation adjusted. Yeah, so I think it's the monthly. Let me just quickly show you on Wavemaster. There's literally 2 signals you get, and every single time those 2 signals happen, the price usually goes flat or down for a long period of time. Yeah, so you have, this is actually red and green. If you want to change the colors, guys, I actually have it set like this. So you go to the colors of the schema, and I do ice or Morpheus. Morpheus is quite a nice one. Pete, you used to use the indicators back in the day, but Pete, got stopped out.
I still use them. I'm doing mainly with the bot at the moment. That's doing most of my trade.
Yeah, the automation. I'm going to go into that in a second, guys. We have this thing called Botmaster coming out. I've released it to, well, I'm using it myself because we got it in alpha. We're going to go into beta soon. But we have Hodl Master and Botmaster. I'll talk about those later. Anyway, so guys, a lot of cases when you get a couple of signals on the wave, this is called Wavemaster. Here's a good one. You have a yellow indication to say overbought, and then you have the switch between the 2 MAs, actually EMAs, and then you can see here price went flat and down. Other way around can be the same. Price went up and then actually broke out. Massive move up here, 2 yellow dots. So I think we're actually getting close, guys, to Wavemaster beginning to come back down, okay? And you can do this on the weekly time scale as well. It's best on gold higher time frames. This one's actually really nice. Let me show you this. And also, guys, you can see on the screen that this is one of our bots. So you can actually see that the last buy signal was here, starting from back. So, guys, every single time you get a double hit, you get at least, and just to remember, guys, these are month candles. And I don't want to bore you to death with this because it's, it's difficult to see. But this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's about a year and a bit of sideways before it continued up after a yellow triangle and yellow dot, which are 2 different types of indications for momentum being over. Again, guys, look, yellow triangle, yellow dot. After you got, well, even from the first triangle, okay, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's over a year again until then it broke out. So you have here, flat for a year, then it broke out. Flat for a year, then it broke out. This hasn't got a double signature, but you do have a cross. Now we've got 1 on the weekly. So you've got the yellow, which is the first indication of momentum. If this then gets a yellow dot, guys, I would say that you've probably got at least a year of sideways. You have a year of sideways here, a year of sideways here, a year of sideways here. The list goes on, guys. You can go, even from here, it goes sideways for like 2-3 years. We haven't actually got it on the weekly yet, but we do have it on the monthly. So I would say if there's an easy indicator to use, guys, on gold, just get Wavemaster on the higher time frames and wait for those signals, and then you're probably likely going to see the price of gold go flat and sideways for at least a year. And in some cases, guys, if you want to go back far enough with Wavemaster, you can actually go into like significant bear markets where the price actually falls. And I'm just going to go back quickly now. You can see you have a double here. The price went flat. This is going to be a long time, guys. It's going to be like 2 years. This is what I think gold's going to look like soon, okay? This is the 2011 highs. I was just talking about this a second ago. You can see how you have a rally up. It comes back down, retest, fucks around, retest, and then it keels over. That's likely what we're going to get for gold. And everyone's screaming for the top in for gold right now. But guys, we've probably got a year or longer of retesting that high consistently over and over again. Even if we go above the all-time high again, let's just say we go up towards $5,000. So we see resistance now, then we go up towards $5,000. Even if we get one 5K hit, we're probably going to get another few retests. Remember gold, guys, gold is the longest standing commodity, and you could call it money, ever traded in history. So you can go back thousands of years and people trade gold in between loads of different stuff. Cattle, livestock, that's the same fucking thing. Cattle and livestock, rocks.
Bushels.
Yeah, fucking. You say mussels?
No, bushels of corn or something.
Oh yeah, corn, of course. Yeah, nickel, other heavy metals. It's been traded for thousands of years. Even like food, like fish, like just. So I'm just saying that because the market's so old and it is the oldest standing market, human beings. It's probably the longest standing medium exchange, apart from maybe barter, because obviously barter is a medium exchange depending on what you're doing. But I'd say in terms of a technology that's designed to trade goods and services with each other, it's the longest standing technology we've ever invented. So what I'm trying to say is because the market's so big, it means it moves very slowly. Like the bigger the market cap of an asset, the slower it moves, and usually the volatility goes down because as the asset class grows, you need more and more money to move the price, which means that less people have that kind of money. So the bigger it gets, the slower it gets. That's why an altcoin with $100 million market cap pings around like that all the fucking time. Bitcoin to a degree is getting a little bit slower, but gold's fucking slow. So this here is an example. This is monthly. So these are weekly candles, but let's just actually just take it. If is it more than 52 weeks? I'd probably say it was. So we're looking at 84 weeks. It was an 84-week top, and then it resulted in 10 years. 10 years of basically down and flat. So this is very likely what's going to happen to gold. Again, guys, it doesn't mean that just because gold goes down and flat doesn't necessarily mean it's bad for it, because gold is used as money. So actually, stability and the price not moving is a good factor. The only thing you should take into account when the price is going flat or if not down is what is the purchasing power of that gold at that time. That's the fucking thing you want to look at. Because if you bought gold in 2011, it hasn't been a very good ride. A lot of people would have said, oh yeah, but I bought gold in 2011 for $2,000. Now it's at $4,000. I've made loads of money. Actually, that's not true. You've made no money because there's a difference between the price and the value of things. Please get this through your head. If there's one thing you can remember from these fucking streams, is there's a big difference between the price and the value of everything we do. Okay? And that's probably one of the moments where if you're actually going to become a successful investor, it's probably due to the fact that you understand that concept. And if you don't understand that concept, you just got lucky. Because if you don't understand that concept, it literally came down to luck. You just picked something that beat inflation and the value rose faster than the currency creation or the supply being increased of that, whatever the denominated asset is. So if you don't understand that concept, then you're basically just getting lucky. You're picking the right stock and it gets successful. You're getting into Bitcoin and it's a growth story. You're buying a fucking house, but then loads of people want to move into that area. All of these things are essentially doing the same thing. You're beating inflation because the thing you bought is actually going up in value. But a lot of people today, they think when they buy something because the price goes up, it automatically means they made money out of value. But that's not true. Guess what? Wealth gap's going up. Less and less people have financial independence in the middle class. So you're getting the rich getting richer, the poor getting poorer. So if you think you're just getting rich, if you don't buy something, if the thing you bought, whatever it is, didn't go up 10% in 2024 this year, you lost money. How fucking crazy is that? So you could have bought something and it went up 10% in price, but you still lost money. You still lost purchasing power. That's crazy. People don't that's a difficult pill to swallow. Because a lot of real estate goes up 6, 7, 5, 10%, but you're not making any fucking money. You're only making money if your thing goes up 15, 20, 25%. But it's an interesting topic. But with Bitcoin, guys, in terms of... Okay, so gold, I've kind of wrapped it up. So yeah, gold's fucking going for it. $4,000 doesn't necessarily mean it's getting any more valuable, though we know that the purchasing power is only the same 2,000. So what my point is this, just to end the question that Pete just asked. People just want to know when the top and the bottom is in. I think that we're close to the top, but we could go to 5,000. And I think we're going to go into a bear market for up to 10 years for gold after this bull market. So a bear market for up to 10 years. Let me see who's joining the chat. Is there someone joining the chat? Oh, yeah, we got the block. Bitcoin skeptic Peter Schiff pitches on-chain gold tokenization app. CZ calls it a trust me bro token. The problem is about this whole thing. Why would you want to tokenize gold? Why would you want to tokenize gold? What's the point? Why would you even if you think fucking tokenization and Bitcoin and blockchain technology is so bad, why would you want to tokenize it? You're just basically saying that you have Bitcoin already. Why would you tokenize gold? Use gold in the physical sense and use Bitcoin in the digital sense, because tokenizing gold still means that the bearer asset and the spot asset needs to be held in a safe or a vault. So you'll end up just in exactly the same problem as you do with fiat currency there, where someone will just tokenize the gold more than there is the gold, and then you'll just have more tokens floating around in the system than there is actually gold backed, and you have to rely on the person to store your gold. So there's no point. This whole thing's stupid. The whole thing about this makes Peter Schiff look like he's uneducated, because this doesn't make any sense. Gold is good because it's physical. Gold is more anonymous because it's physical. Gold is good because it's physical, so you can verify it in an easy manner. Like, if you actually have it in your fucking safe. But this is just stupid. Like, why would you tokenize gold? If you buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just basically the fast weight. It's got no weight. It's fast. It's more portable, more durable, more divisible. You don't have to leave it in a safe with guards around it because it's heavy. You can just have the keys in your head. So don't fucking go down this road. Bitcoin's best on the digital world. Gold is best in the physical world. What do you think about that, Pete? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think I just think that was it was pretty ironic, but also yeah, everything he kind of said. But I don't know. Yeah, it makes sense to me. But again, it's like, what is the point?
That's the point. Like, if you're going to tokenize gold, just use Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is the tokenized, free, fast, weightless version. It's like people trying to say, why don't we make a physical coin for Bitcoin and then use that coin in the real world to transact? Like, you do see like kind of gimmick coins of Bitcoin, but no one actually uses that as a way to move around money. You're like, well, that's obviously not going to fucking do that. I'm just going to use the Bitcoin network. So like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, you need to know why you have value and what your value proposition is. But Peter Schiff coming out and saying, let's tokenize gold, makes you realize that he doesn't understand what the value proposition of gold is in the first place. Gold being physical is its unique selling point. Because guess what? The digital version Bitcoin, it's not that fucking anonymous. Like, everyone's like, oh yeah, I'm going to be a fucking drug dealer and use Bitcoin. You're going to get caught. You've probably, the Bitcoin have probably been flushed through a KYC system. You're not going to be able to even sell it. It's not even anonymous. It's pseudo-anonymous. So you can, very, very complex systems can really find out eventually. You're going to make a mistake. You're going to have an IP somewhere. You're going to get caught. Your laptop's going to be, they're going to know where you are at some point. Like, all the dudes who use Bitcoin got caught. The Silk Road guys, all the drug dudes, even the fucking cartels. Like, even you could even get a geo mapper and see where they're holding like the fucking German Bitcoin at one point. So that's a lot of bollocks. It's stupid. I think the value of gold is that it is physical, and you can have it in your pocket, and no one really knows if it's in your pocket. And also, it doesn't rely on anything. It literally relies on nothing. You have to remember that Bitcoin still relies on something. It relies on electricity. It relies on miners. It relies on the internet. It actually has quite a lot of things underneath it that it needs to operate. Obviously, if the world ceases to have internet and electricity and fucking ASIC miners, we're probably going to have worse things to think about. But in that case, then if you have a fucking bar of gold, you're chilling. You got cash. So like, there's always going to be a use case for gold. There's no point tokenizing it, because that's exactly what the US dollar was to gold. So like, the problem is like, why? Anyway, I'm going on a rant, but it's so stupid. The dollar is the tokenized version of gold. That's why the dollar was created. The dollar was the scalable, fast, instant transaction for gold. Because if you have a kilogram of gold, it's a kilogram of gold. It's hard to move it around. But if you have a kilogram of paper, easier to move it around. You can do receipts easier. It's more interchangeable, divisible, whatever. Anyway, it makes no fucking sense. It just makes you kind of think, like, Schiff's a good guy and he knows about gold. He's a legend, actually, for gold. Schiff knows about gold. He understands sound money principles. He understands free market capitalism. He understands what makes societies tick in terms of the money you need and the rules you need within the system to get people incentivized. He gets that, and I agree with him, all that shit. But when it comes to this fucking Bitcoin thing, it's just like, bruv, like, you just, you're missing the point. And the funny thing is he's missing the point because he has subjective bias. He needs to read the book by George Gliedner, and I've spoken about this a million times again, but Just go and fucking research George Gleidner, and you will know what it is to be unbiased and not have a subjective bias on things, because he has a whole process. I think he might have died recently, actually, but even into his into 60s, 70s, and 80s, even 90 years old, he had a whole process of being able to get rid of all of his subjective bias and look at things objectively in a way, saying, okay, what I thought before might be wrong, what is right now? And we all know that you can't fucking teach an old dog new tricks. All human beings go down this road. We all get more and more difficult to persuade for new ideas and new things and new concepts. And that's usually where people go wrong, because they can't adapt and change. And the world is adapting and changing faster than it ever has. So if you can't do that, you're fucked really long term. And you see a lot of guys losing everything because of this. They just can't get out of this whole system. And Schiff's a good example. If he had just said, I don't know about Bitcoin, and put in $10 million at the beginning because he didn't know, he'd have more net worth than he could ever dream of today. I'm not saying he's unsuccessful, but he could be 100 times more successful. So the point I'm trying to make is that you have to try and look at things in an objective way and not get caught into your own delusions. And also, a good example of this as well is there's a great book about this. I can't actually remember the exact quote, but it says it's the things that you don't know in investing that make you more money than the things you do know. So think of this concept. If you try and know 100% of the time what's good and what's not to buy, you will not make as much money as if you think in your head, actually, I don't know a lot of the time what's going to be the best. So what I'll do is I will bet on it anyway because I don't know. Too many people try and think in their head that I need to know why everything is good and I need to know why it's good before I buy it. You're very likely going to make less money because there's no way and there's no recorded example of people who need to be right on everything making more money than someone who says, you know what, maybe I'm wrong. Because guess what? When you think maybe I'm wrong, you just put a bet out anyway on that thing which might be right but you don't understand. And in this example, for Peter Schiff, that would have been the best fucking thing he could have ever done. He could have said, I might be wrong about Bitcoin because I don't know. So it's essentially it's a tool to create a world in your own investing where you don't try and control every single thing that you buy. You just say, fuck it. I'm going to try. I don't know. It's a humbling tool to actually get you to a point where you make more fucking money. I can't remember exactly who it was. I think it was a big hedge fund guy who said this. And he had a whole thing about it, and then he did like an ebook and a normal thing, and it was just like, he wrote about it, and he was like, yeah, like all of my best investments were in things that I didn't understand. And I was like, oh shit. Like, that's insane, because most people think that you have to know what you're buying and you have to know everything about it to make money. Actually, it's like AI. It's like bet on it anyway, whether you know or not. But I don't know. What's this tweet we got here? Do you want to read it out, bro?
I can't even remember what we've got. Oh yeah, so Schiff wants to do a Schiff. Yeah, so
I
I
need to
was
drink some
asleep
water.
at the wheel for a minute, brother. You were doing some good chat about the gold stuff. But Schiff wants to actually do a debate with CZ Binance and debate Bitcoin versus tokenized gold. And he's trying to decide the potential moderator. I don't think any of these people will actually do it. But
Mate, the
Elon
problem
Musk,
is,
Joe Rogan.
it's boring now because Schiff's just boring now because everyone knows that he's only doing this to try and gain attention. He's not really there to actually have a debate. If anyone came up with a point that he agreed with secretly, he wouldn't admit it. That's the problem. There's no point. I'm bored of his shit. I'm completely fucking bored of it because he's only doing it for attention. He's just basically playing the role as the devil's advocate for the old dude who doesn't understand Bitcoin, even if maybe he does. And I think probably he does. Maybe Peter Schiff. Okay, if Peter Schiff genuinely doesn't believe in what Bitcoin is, that means he doesn't understand what sound money is, and that goes against the whole reason I followed him in the first place. Because Peter Schiff does understand what sound money is. He does understand good economic principles. He basically copied fucking Milton Friedman. He's just the modern version who speaks in a different way of Milton Friedman, and he said that openly. He just read all his shit and then just regurgitates it in a different way. So he knows what he's talking about. But with the Bitcoin thing, he's just playing ignorance against it because it gets lots of clicks. And look at this. It's got 500, 600,000 views. So I'm completely fucking bored with him. either he's stupid and he doesn't understand it, which I actually don't think is the case, or he's just playing a game, and I think he's playing a game. Because, like, if you don't understand what's the real determining factor of what makes money good out of everything else is the relationship between its quantity. And that's it. It's just about the quantity of it there is. And the more scarce, even getting to the point of fixed that it is, the better it acts as money. Because if it's fixed, then no one can make more of it, which means it does a good accounting. Obviously, you can add portability, durability, divisibility, all these extra things. Like if you have, for instance, you could use a cow as money, but the problem is that they can fucking have sex with each other and make more cows. They're very difficult to move about. You got to take it on a lead. You could still use it as money, just not as good as something like gold. And also this whole thing, another thing which people get wrong, which I saw a video the other day. The guy was like, the reason gold has value is because it's just a belief system. And I'm like, for fuck's sake, this is so fucking stupid. A belief system. What, you think there's fucking $30 trillion just in belief? Like, this is ridiculous. You have to go back a step. Yes, people believe that gold is money, but why? There has to be a reason. Like, you don't just believe in something for no reason. And the reason is because of its properties. So this whole thing where people say, oh yeah, but money is just a belief system, man. Like the fiat currency we use, it's a belief system. You have to understand that you can believe in anything, but the reason everyone believes in gold is because of its properties. That's what creates the belief. And the properties are good for money. Portable, durable, divisible, fungible, has a good store of value, and store of value is its quantity, derived from its quantity. You could even have an argument that all value and everything we do is derived by the quantity. Like, you can literally make an argument. You could say, okay, what is value? Okay, valuable is things that isn't abundant. What things aren't abundant? Things that are difficult to do. If it's difficult to do, it means there's less of it. That makes it valuable. It's a fundamental premise of human beings and physics of the world we live in. The things that are hard to do, there is less of those things. Because there are less of those things, it means it has a smaller quantity. If it has a smaller quantity, it means it's sought after more. And the jerk circle goes around in a fucking circle again. It's just the more hard something is to do, the less of that thing there is. The less of that thing there is, the more people want it, because if they have it and no one else has it, that's what derives the value. So that's the whole fucking game. I don't even know where I was going with this point, but I'm saying, like, there's just the belief thing is a load of bollocks. The reason that gold has a $30 trillion market cap and fiat currency has a much higher market cap is because fiat currency is a belief system that is enforced by governments by law. That's the problem. The government are forcing you to use US dollars as, say, for instance, legal tender. And also the US government, they demand US dollars in tax. So let's just say, so the US government say, we are forcefully going to tax every single human being on the planet who come from America because we will give you the monopoly on defense if there's any problems. So if you go to another country and that country say, we're going to capture you and make you a hostage, you have basically got you can go to sleep at night knowing that the US government will come and get you out of that situation anywhere in the world. There's not many countries in the world which should do that. If you're an English citizen and you get caught up in a jail somewhere in the middle of nowhere, the UK government probably ain't going to come get you out. But in a lot of cases, the US government will. And that's...
Yeah, but they might let you out, the British government, just by mistake.
Wait, you're talking about... Yeah, go.
Yeah. So there's this migrant in that was started, all the riots over summer. We've had people protesting outside of hotels that are housing illegal immigrants that have come over on the channel on the boats. So it started off in Epping in Essex. And then they, this one guy who, I don't know, he touched a young girl and said, I want to make babies with you or something, and like followed her and stuff. And then he got done for sexual harassment. And they literally let him out by mistake on Friday. And
Wait, what?
Yeah, they let the main guy that sparked all of the riots off over the summer. They just let him out by mistake out of Chelmsford prison. and he was like wandering around outside the front of it, just asking people like, "Where do I go? What do I do?" And they were just telling him like, "You go, you're free." And they gave him like some cash, and he just
Mate,
hopped on a train. So there was like a manhunt for like
I need
a day
I
or
need some
two.
nicotine
Just
after hearing that, mate. Dude,
yeah, just searching for him.
it genuinely feels. I don't want to go down this rabbit hole because like we've done it a million times with England being shit, and I'm sick of calling England shit because I feel like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. But the problem is like that is so fucking shit. Like
Apparently, it
it
happens
feels
all
like
the time. Like
yeah, but
letting people out by
it feels like
mistake.
it's coordinated. That's the issue. It's like all these fucking Andrew Tate people and all these conspiracy people, they don't even look that stupid anymore because it actually does feel like it's an orchestrated thing. It feels like that would be
Yeah.
if a society wanted to fuck themselves up any quicker, that's the thing they would do. If it was a coordinated attack from some weird deep state thing, that's what you would do. Get the guy who raped or tried to rape a child who's an immigrant in England and let him out for free. That's the one thing that's going to cause the biggest issues.
Yeah, it's insane. I don't understand how this actually happened. He's been in all the newspapers on the news for ages. He's probably the most famous guy that's in that prison in Chelmsford. And
I was born in Chelmsford, bro. Fuck this.
well, yeah. I mean, it doesn't sound bad though. If you get arrested, you probably be let out by mistake. But
Bro, it's
yeah,
not.
but for
Make it into a
40
positive.
minutes, he was wandering around outside the front, and he went back to the prison reception and said, "Where do I go? What am I doing? I want to be," because he actually wants to be deported. And
But
they
they
were
need
just
money to
like,
deport them. That's the problem as well. It's not
apparently
free.
someone's lost their job over this. But yeah, it's absolutely
What's
mad,
that
isn't it?
quote where it's like someone lost their job? It's like, oh yeah, I'm really sorry. And it's like, yeah, that's like fucking Napoleon coming back after the Battle of Waterloo and saying, I'm sorry. Like, you fucked it. Like, you can't just say you're sorry, bro. It's over. You let the rapist out. No, dude. I
Yeah,
reckon.
since there's videos of him walking down the high street just like with his bag of clothes, just scratching his head, not sure where he's going. His English ain't the best, is it?
Well, yeah, illegal immigrant. Why do they always look like that as
Yeah,
well? Why do they always look like that, bro? Like, look at him. He just looks fucking angry. Like, it's just.
he looks kind of normalish to me. Like I don't know,
No,
but
bruv, stop trying to be all virtue signaling gay. He doesn't
he
look
done
normal. He looks like he's a fucking
well.
rapist.
I guarantee you take a picture of me up against the wall like that in the grey prison tracksuit, or even you, like people will be
No,
looking at
I
us
would
like
look
we're a
good,
bit.
man. I don't look like a fucking. I don't look like an illegal. Like let's get you
People
up.
would.
Get you up. I want to see what you look like again. Let's have a look. Pete
What
Dirty Work.
me against the
I'm pinning you
a
up.
wall like that? Anyway, that's mad.
So it's
Did you
got.
know about the? They've pretty much found the Louvre people as well. The people that robbed that
I
last
literally
week.
had that up on my screen a second ago. Look, they've caught the dudes who stole the French crown jewels or whatever.
They've only got two of them. They've only actually got two of them.
Mm-mm. Basically, what was I saying before? Oh yeah. So before that tangent, I was saying the fucking U.S. government, they will defend you with their army basically wherever you are in the world. That's why they say sometimes that's why you pay worldwide income tax, because we will fucking defend you wherever you are on the planet. Not many countries will do that. So what I'm trying to say with this whole fucking money thing, I don't even know where I was going with it, but it's basically the US government demand US dollars as tax payment. And that's one of the reasons why the US dollar is good at money, because it's forced belief. It's not real belief because it hasn't got good properties. It's a piece of paper. But the government enforce it, which make you feel like it has belief. But I'm back to that point about belief. Fucking. Got a fucking vape now. Like, everyone's like, oh yeah, gold's money because everyone believes it's money. It's like, well, what is belief? What does it mean? Belief is the properties it has. And over long, long periods of time, if you said to yourself, what's the probability of backing gold over thousands of years? The reason people keep going back to gold, they might forget for 20 years, like we did in our society. The last 30 years, everyone forgot about gold. They're like, nah, we don't need it anymore. But over a long period of time, you see that the probability of coming back to the thing that has good properties, people do it because they're not stupid. And people have to be clever in hard times, because when you lose, you learn. So when you lose loads, like we are at the moment, society's crumbling in the West, people start losing, and then they start fucking learning. So that's like another fucking thing. Anyway, that's the tangent gone. What's the next fucking topic?
Well, yeah, the inside job. I swear it's always an inside job with robberies. Like the whole Lou thing's just going to turn out to be an
Well,
inside
isn't
job.
that what a good robbery is? Like, it's an inside job. Like, if you're
Most of the
gonna,
time, yeah, because they're the best planned. They're normally done without violence, because the
I play
people
GTA fucking 5.
care
I
about.
play GTA
What?
5, bro. I know all about it. Like, when you get an insider, you get a fucking easier exit.
I actually haven't done any of the heists or anything like that. I haven't played GTA. It's not really.
I haven't
I
done
will
any
play the
heists.
one.
I know
When it
you haven't done
finally
any
comes
heists,
out.
Pete, bro. You wouldn't better run away. They'd catch you before you're out the fucking door. You'd be too
I'm not
blazed
that.
up.
I'm not too fast at the minute, but
Can't even move your head
yeah,
up and down. You won't be able to see
I've kind of
security.
I've missed the whole GTA stuff a bit, but I won't miss it when the next one comes out. When I don't
Mate,
know when
honestly,
that
that's gonna
is.
be. Nah, in GTA 5, I remember playing it at fucking uni or something. It was like 10 years ago. But you would like get your little squad, and you'd get one guy who's like works in the bank, and then they'd open the door for you. You go and shoot all the brothers, and it was good. It was good preparation for actually heisting.
The whole market stuff with when the next GTA comes out, that's going to have such a big economy inside it that you can. I don't even know how big that's going to get the next one. Like, look at how big the current one has got.
All I know is that I think they've spent close to $2 billion on it. And you know that game we were playing the other day called Baldur's Gate?
Yeah,
They spent $100 million on that, and it was a pretty good game. So if they're spending basically 20 times, I don't know what it's going to be like. I think if they really were smart, GTA, they would build some sort of inflation. They would build some sort of inflated asset within the game that you can get only. So they basically every day they produce items in the game, but it's a finite supply of that item every single day. So say there's 100,000 people playing the game at any one time, and then they like spawn items into the game, and there's only 100 of those items, and then the next day they're all gone. So every day there's a new item spawned, and only 100 of them are created. That, and then if you get the item, you can then trade it on the marketplace for someone who hasn't either been playing the game for a long time or just wants to buy that thing because they don't want to go around looking for the item. Then I think they could actually create some crazy like in-game economy, because then you could have it so, well, if you want to make something in the game, you need 5 of those items that are only created once a day, and there's only 100 of them. Then it's like, okay, well, one person finds one item, another person finds another item, but then maybe you need like 3, 4, 5, 6 of those things to make something else with them. Then you'd have an actual in-game economy where people will be like, I actually need to buy this thing, and then everyone will be running around the map just trying to find the thing. Or maybe it's like you have to kill a certain I don't know, like fucking, you have to like kill another player to get something. Then they could actually build like a nice little inflation creation economy. And I reckon if they did that, you would have people just playing the game to find the items to make money. And also, then you'd have a marketplace where they could create a coin. They could call it the GTA coin. And then to be able to buy the assets in the game, you have to own the coin. And then that creates a huge demand for that token. And then they could say, well, you can also spend that token in a shop if you had enough of it. And then they could build their own in-game currency. But then they go down the whole Facebook route and probably get regulated into oblivion like Facebook did with what was that thing they made? They made Libra, didn't they? They made Libra coin.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Libra coin.
Mate, Libra coin was basically this. It was Facebook trying to create their own currency. Guess what? The US government don't want that, because that's another thing you could use to store your economic energy, economic wealth. Instead of using US dollars, just hold it in Libra. So then they were like, nah, you can't do that. But that's why gold, Bitcoin, silver, platinum, palladium, and altcoins are actually really cool, because technically speaking, you can use those as money. And now the US government has said they're okay. So, but Libra actually was not even that of a crazy concept considering what we have now. You have loads of in-game currencies and loads of I said this like years ago, bro. I think that the future of... Okay, think about this concept. People today live in such an abstract world that some people don't even know like what the good, like the right or wrong thing to do is in the real world. They're living in this weird abstracted world. They don't even know what the good and bad things are. So I think that actually people playing computer games the games themselves will become the breeding grounds for ideas about how economies and systems and things should work. And then the games which have the best economies will actually be used in the real world. And that's a little bit I didn't really explain that very well. But what I'm trying to say is like, because you can create an infinite amount of games with an infinite amount of economies, the games that will do well will have the best economies. And I genuinely believe that the games will get as big as the economies in the real world, and then actual governments or countries will start looking at the game and thinking, well, this economy is working really fucking well. Why don't we take some of the things which works in the game and actually use it in the real world? Because right now, no one even understands what makes a real good economy. You've got fucking you got Keir Starmer running around like enforcing tax here, interest rates there, fucking digital ID this, fucking regulation that. So I'm just saying, my point is that governments can't get it right now. They're fucking up societies like the United Kingdom, the US. There's loads of problems. Loads of European countries are crumbling because their governments are shit and they don't know how to actually manage the economy itself. So there'll probably be a day where there'll be a game which has an unbelievably good in-game economy, and maybe our generation are more susceptible to playing computer games. So maybe in the future, we'll play games which have good economies and be like, well, why don't we just emulate some of the things which work in game and use them in the real fucking world? That's a crazy concept, but I think that's actually going to happen. But I don't know if that actually... Does that make sense?
Makes sense to me, brother. Have a look at this. What happened with Counter-Strike and the market for all of the items.
I saw this, man. They apparently...
I saw. Can you look at something on TradingView that shows you a chart on it?
I don't know. Maybe no. I think the thing is,
look for CS2. Apparently, you can actually look for it on TradingView as well. But anyway, yeah, it was like it wiped half of the market or something. It was like CS2. 6 billion market, and then it's overnight they've made it. Oh
no,
CS2. It should maybe.
I'm trying to think anything which says Counter-Strike on it, but it doesn't.
It should just have like the market.
No, I saw a tweet of some guy who was like, I had my entire net worth in the CSGO skins economy. And bruv, I can't believe he did. Like, think about that. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, you literally had your net worth at the whim of some developers changing something in a game with absolutely no enforcement. Like, think about why people buy gold. Because you have certainty that it's distributed worldwide. It's been around for thousands of years. You can't create more of it without having a supernova explosion. So the reason you bet on gold to store your economic energy and be store of value is because the properties mean you can have certainty in it being around for a long time. Imagine coming up with the concept in your head. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put my life savings into a virtual game with developers that can change anything at any time. It's only been around for fucking 10 years. And maybe it'll be around. Like, that's fucking stupid, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of people like killing themselves or saying that they were going to over this.
Well, mate, the amount of people who fucking killed themselves over the altcoins the other day, it's crazy.
Well, yeah, I think, should we go through some of the chat as well? I'll just read a couple of the messages we sent through. And then I want to talk about Cardano or Cardina, however you say it. And I've got some good stories to go through with that as well. A couple of people asking about altcoins and Zcash and get into XRP now.
Let's have a look at XRP. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at this guy's grand plan.
Schiff holds Bitcoin. He's just engagement farming, in my opinion. That's exactly what I
said. Gay, mate. XRP.
This. Sorry, I'm just reacting to someone that's saying about Counter-Strike. It's been around 20 years. Yeah, it has been around, but the market itself has just been, I don't know, over the last. The thing is, with something like that, how they can exactly what they've done. They've made a small change, so you can, as I understand it, upgrade some items that are below a certain tier to now be able to create an item that's above that tier.
And then he owns loads of that tier, and then it's abundant. It's abundant now. Yeah. So the value went to zero. Yeah, basically. Exactly. That's exactly the whole thing we were just saying. It's like things that are valuable are scarce in nature because they're hard to create. If you make it so it's easy to create, the value goes to zero. It's the same as, if you think about it this way, it's the same as XRP. Because XRP is controlled by 10 to 15 block producers, which are banks. They can change the code whenever they want. They can change the rules whenever they want. The token itself has an unlimited supply, so they can just create more of it whenever they want. And also, it's not used as store of value because it's a remittance token for banks. So you have, say you do this, you have $1 million in one bank and you have $1 million in another bank. Moving the actual $1 million means you have to go through certain processes. You have to go through a SWIFT system, an IBAN system, a sort code account number system. You have to go through regulators. You have to go through jurisdictions. You have loads of things in the way. And a lot of it's just to like stop AML and KYC and terrorism, all that kind of shit. But that's still slow. You still have to go through the process of proving your $1 million to go from this bank to that bank. The reason XRP is there, instead of doing all that shit, you have your $1 million here, which is connected to a crypto exchange. You turn it into fucking banks use it to do interlending, or they send transactions. So you turn your $1 million into XRP, you instantly send the XRP to the other bank, which has the same system, and then turn it back into US dollars. So you've skipped the whole system of the interbank systems, which is, like I said, SWIFT, IBAN, sort code account number, whatever it fucking is. So that's the reason you use it. So the reason the market cap of Bitcoin is high is because you buy it and then you don't sell it. Because it's gold, money, gold, same thing. It's basically money in itself. So you buy the Bitcoin, but then you're like, well, why do I need to sell it back to US dollars? Because I can give someone Bitcoin for the things that I need. So then that's what raises the market cap, because you buy it, you never sell it. Buy pressure, no sell pressure. Inherently built into why Bitcoin's price going up is a direct result of it being good, because it means that more people are using it as money. That's why gold has a $30 trillion market cap. It's gone down recently, though. So last time we checked, it was 30. Now it's 27.8. But that's because the price has come down a little bit. But anyway, that's my point. Like, XRP is a load of garbage. It's like buying fucking CSGO skins. It's not as bad as that. Buying CSGO skins as an investment to store your economic, all of your value is fucking retarded. Like, that is retarded. You're better off buying anything else, even Pokemon cards. But like, it's all a scale. Everything in life is a scale. How much certainty and how difficult is the thing you buy to produce, which creates the quantity. If the thing that you buy is impossible to make, and no one can ever make it in any other time in history, and you know there's a fixed supply and no one else can change it or interact with it, or the government, another thing about Bitcoin, guess what? The government can't fuck with it. So like, that's why Bitcoin's so good at putting your money in it. Buying Bitcoin's good because you have loads of safeguards that stop manipulation. The devs can't change it. I used to say this from the beginning. Everyone was like, no, but Bitcoin is really slow. And it has a low transactions per second. It's never going to be money because it has a low transactions per second. And the developers can't change it. That's exactly what you want. In money, you never want it to change. You want the certainty that it will stay the fucking same forever. So then there's no potential chance of it breaking and you losing all your money. That's a feature in itself. That's a value proposition in itself. And transactions per second, gold has a $28 trillion market cap right now. It's not even possible to do one transaction in a second. Even if I was standing next to someone else with some gold, it would probably take me more than a second to transact it with the fucking human next to me. So gold can't even do one transaction per second. And if you wanted to move it to America from Fort Knox to Brinks in London, it will take you 4 weeks and cost you 20 grand. But it's still got the fucking... It's just the whole... Everyone's just fucked. Anyway, not everyone's fucked. People who bought Bitcoin understand the value proposition. But I'm just saying that when you're talking to average people, they got no clue about any of this stuff. And that's probably why they're going to stay in the loop of essentially not getting financially free. But anyway... Back to the fucking point. We've got here, breaking. Porsche reports a 95.9% drop in profits. What? The company announced profit fell to 114 million from 2.6 billion. Wait. What? Did they not sell any cars or something? The fuck?
Mate, you're absolutely flabbergasted.
It's not real. It's a fake news, bro. It's Trump. It's fake news.
No. Well, it sounds awful, and they are getting rid of their top guy over it.
That can't be right.
It's part of a strategy which they're kind of like, you're not going to see a rise in any profits for a while.
One thing it could be is that I know that. Okay, I know Porsche own a building in Miami.
You think it's because of building?
The only thing it could be is that they invested in an asset class that they don't really understand. Like maybe they went and purchased loads of real estate to make it into Porsche residences or Porsche hotels, and then all of those made no money. and then that drew down their profit margin because man's.
So it's kind of related to the electric vehicles, the EV realignment. They did a lot of one-off expenses for like factories for batteries and stuff, and they're walking back kind of part of the EV strategy as well. Some of it's to do with some of the tariffs that the US have been doing, which went into effect in August. China, apparently there's a bit of a slump in the market demand in China. And just overall a bit of lower sales as well.
So basically, they were making 2.6 billion euros a year, but then one year, 2024, they decided that they were going to invest all their profit into making the growth of the business, and then all of those things failed because EV did fail. Their electric cars are shit. Their new electric car, which is like the fucking fastest this car ever, no one bought it.
What was the one we were driving around in? What Porsche was that?
That was we had two. We had the Carrera, the 911 Carrera or something. So the Carrera S, and then we drove the Cayenne, bigger one. But mate, this is funny because the new Porsche 2026 911 Turbo S came out recently, and I've heard it's just been an absolute showstopper. Everyone's been buying it. Apparently, it's fucking amazing. Yeah. So. They just took a lot of their profits and tried to push it into like more sketchy ventures. For instance, EV, maybe some real estate shit, maybe some of this, maybe some of that. Just didn't make any money. Just lost the prof for the year. I reckon
they fired the CEO.
Porsche, bro.
They've got a new one coming in January.
The best decision I've seen all these car companies do is just buy up real estate in Dubai. You got the Mercedes building here now. You got the Bugatti building, the Mansouri building. Like, it's because a lot of these companies can't buy stuff like gold and Bitcoin easily. So what they've done is they've thought, okay, what thing can we build that essentially is difficult to do and is scarce? And the one thing they could do is build a Porsche residence or a Mansouri residence or a Mercedes residence, because their cash is depreciating by 10 to 15% a year. So they got $1 billion cash. They're losing $100 million a year in purchasing power. So they're like, fuck, we need to get out of cash. Let's go build them. Let's go build a Mercedes residence, which is 1,000 units into the sky. And it's so clever because what they do is they push their cash into real estate, which means they have a one-of-one asset, which is a fucking Mercedes building. They then build the real estate, sell all of the fucking units, get all of the money back, if not more, from building the unit, and then they take all the surcharge fees from the building for the next 50 years. So essentially, you're just moving cash into a hard supply real estate asset, which has cash flow. And that's why they're all doing it. That's what no one's actually told me that. That's what I think. So that's what I think they're doing, because obviously no one really knows. That's what I think they're doing. Yeah, that's what I think that their strategy is, because no one from Mercedes or Bugatti or Mansouri has told me this. But I would say that this is what I think. I think companies like car companies with big cash reserves are getting wrecked through inflation, and they can't do the Michael Saylor and go into Bitcoin because their shareholders wouldn't allow it. And they can't do a big gold because gold's boring and no one understands it. So the only thing they could really do is say, well, we'll go build a fucking Mercedes residence. There's only one of them in the world. And we'll sell all the units. They're selling them for a lot. The minimum is 14 million dirhams. So a one bedroom is $3 million or some shit. And then sell the whole building out. Double your supply when you sold them all of what you've got US, so the inflation doesn't hurt you. And then just cash in on the fucking surcharge. It's cash in hand, baby. Money, cash.
Wait, let's look at the Cardano. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Cardano.
Are you talking about Cardano?
No, nothing to do with Hosky. Why does Charles Hoskinson look so old, by the way, and he's actually really young?
Mate, I've said this one before. I did a short which got like 50,000 views on this. I was like, I'm 32 years old. And this man is also 32 years old, but he was fucked. Dad or something. I reckon he's been drinking aluminium.
Yeah, he drinks. I think he's just got that hardcore DNA, testosterone, like farmer strength boy.
No, mate. No, what are you talking about?
That ages him rapidly. I think he's
not testosterone.
his DNA. No, yeah, he must have a bit of test. Have you seen his beard? And
Mate,
he's quite a big guy.
he's called fucking Charles Hopkinson, the fucking founder of Cardano, a blockchain project. His testosterone is probably -8.
I
Like,
reckon he's got a bit of testy back in the day, or he comes from good stock, like his
no,
forefathers
no.
before him. But I reckon
Testosterone
Charles.
reduces your age, like it makes you age slower. So he's got none of it.
I reckon if you take him and if you took it and you put him somewhere like 200 years ago, he'd have a massive farm. He'd have like 8, 12 kids, and he'd be dead at like 45, and it'd looked like he was in his like 70s or 80s.
I reckon if he was born a few hundred years ago, he would have just been killed by a more alpha version of himself. He just would have been killed by a Viking.
Yeah,
He would
well,
have just been slayed. He wouldn't have made it. Natural selection would have cut him out of the picture. He wouldn't have made it through.
I do like Hosky though.
No, he talks really well, but like he's not fucking got a lot of testosterone, mate. And he looks old as shit for his age. I met him in fucking Singapore. I met him in Singapore, bro. I got a picture of me and him like in Singapore. He could have been my fucking father, and he's the same age. He's old.
How big are his balls?
Well, to be honest, I did look down at the bulge, and I was a bit like, maybe you do have a bit of test flying about. The big sack.
All right, let's look at a chart. Look at
it's not KDA. Loading, man. I can't even look. I'm clicking around.
What are you clicking at?
I'm trying to get Polygon.
KDA, yeah?
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, TradingView's been a disaster. It's whenever I stream for some reason. I think there must be something going on with it. I don't know.
Well, this chart's hilarious. Anyway, so they just did a tweet out of nowhere, didn't they? Just saying that they're shutting down, no longer able to continue, ceasing all business, the active maintenance of the Cadena. That sounds like it pronounced better. Blockchain. So they're not maintaining anything everywhere. Grateful to everyone along the journey. Just out of nowhere.
I think we spoke about this. I think the reason they ceased to exist is because they did an ICO. They raised loads of money from their token, and then they probably had it so like they had, I don't know, let's just say for an example, they had 1 billion tokens, and they had 500 which were circulating supply, and 500 million, I'm talking 500 million in circulating supply, and 500 million which are held back by the team. So they were looking at their 500 million tokens, and the price of Cardano, whatever it was $1. So they're like, oh, we've got $500 million in our own token, which is our treasury. And then the token went to 9 fucking cents or 0. So basically what happened is they just lost all of their funding to continue. And that's it. Because all these fucking altcoins, they didn't go to VC and get hard cash. They may not have even done an ICO. They might not have even made any cash from selling the token. They may have just listed their token on exchanges, held back half the supply, and let it run up to $2. And they got 500 million tokens, so they got $1 billion in treasury. But if it goes to 0, then they lose all of their funding. That's the issue with this. This is why FTX collapsed, because FTX had their own token, and then they were taking loans on the basis of the value of their own token. When the token went to 0, they couldn't pay back their own debt on their own tokens. Boof, you're gone. So, like, yeah, this is just fucking... They just ran out. They have no treasury. They have no money. They lost all their money because the token went to 0 during the fucking altcoin purge, which is actually nuts to see that happen in that fucking quick period of time.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that were really invested in it and believed in it and stuff, and then just got wrecked in it. But this is a good point as well. At first, when I saw that tweet, I did think maybe it was just a hack. Like they'd got hold of the Twitter, they'd open up a large short positions, and then tweeted out that the blockchain's shutting down. but no, apparently it's not true at all. And even in their Discord, they were saying that they weren't hacked. It's official decision. I just feel bad for a lot of the people that get really sucked into these projects and become like part of the community, and then end up just getting absolutely wrecked out of nowhere.
You don't give a fuck about them. I don't care. You don't care. Stop trying to portray this nice little virtual version of yourself. Oh, I care about the guys who got wrecked in Cadena. No, you don't care. They got wrecked because they invested in the wrong fucking thing. Done.
Yeah, we've got the guy, one of the heads of it, Mark Caron, just saying how he had no idea as well. Just try and do a bit of damage
control.
No
idea as well.
Yeah.
To be honest,
I
the
was
altcoin
I was
purge,
not aware a shutdown was even being considered, nor did I learn of a shutdown decision until after it was made.
great fucking
Yeah,
was he the founder or the CEO?
I'm not sure.
Great CEO. He doesn't even know that is. He probably didn't even know how it was funded. Like I swear, there was back in the day, there was like a porn star chick who was like running one of the biggest. I think it was Voyager or Celsius. Was it Celsius? They had like a porn.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, there was. I can't remember, but that rings a bell.
They had a porn star running marketing or something. Like, bruv, like if you're really gonna pick the fucking crop, the real nice fucking people out of the crop, you know, they went for a porn star to do their marketing techniques. Like, no wonder it went to fucking zero.
I think it was Voyager, or it
It
was
was
either
Voyager or
Celsius
Celsius.
or Voyager
Mate,
that had like.
you lost all your money in Celsius, mate. The Celsius saga.
Oh yeah, the Celsius saga continues, doesn't it? He's actually just gone in now. So Mashinsky's reported to prison about a month ago, or around then.
How long's he gone to jail for now?
I can't remember. I think it's only like 5 to 10 years. I actually can't remember off the top of my head.
But the thing is, if it's 5 years, he'll probably end up doing a couple, won't he? Because they always let them out early. That's crazy. I don't know.
12 years. Sorry. Yeah.
So I think I don't know how it works. I don't know the fucking law system or the jail system. And I actually recently found out there's a difference between a jail and a prison. Do you know the difference between a jail and a prison?
Enlighten me.
So a jail is where you go if you haven't been prosecuted yet, and
yeah, it's the short-term stuff.
Short-term stuff, and then prison is when you've been convicted. But I never knew that. I thought the same fucking thing. But yeah, apparently 12 years. So I don't know the legal side, but I think he'll end up, if he behaves, you end up doing like 6, don't you? Did he manage to Did he manage to financially, is he financially good? Did he manage to nick loads of the cash?
Protect his assets and stuff. He's got a lot of cash still. The judge did confiscate like property, loads of assets and cash, but he's still got some stuff squirreled away.
Kate XBT.
So this is more information about the Cadena people. So the founder allegedly got sued by family members for taking a loan from them to start it up, and then he played dumb and didn't pay him back or something when it actually started taking off. The blockchain itself claimed 480k transaction per second, so had 0 users, really 0 wallets. Lied through their teeth about partnerships, institution involved. There's just a lot of accusations being thrown towards that team and stuff. And
what was the market cap of the token? Do you know before it went to 0? What's the ticker? No. What's the ticker? I'll fucking find it.
KDA.
I'll look at it on Binance. KDA USDT. Okay, this
tweet's quite sad as well. 2 hours before the announcement, I finally had accumulated over 100k KDA. I was working towards that goal for 2 years. There was so much activity, and it really did appear things were finally picking up for an explosive 2026. All of that time and money wasted.
Look at the chart, brother. Can you see my screen? Like, it's literally a droopy 0. It's a droopity drop to 0. I don't know the circulating supply. Let me get up fucking coin market cap. It might not even be listed anymore. So it was KDA. I think I did hear about it. Oh, here we go.
Getting delisted from the lot.
So the market cap. Okay, well the volume was only $5 million, so that's hectic as. The market cap right now is 20 million, so, and it's at 0. So I don't know. It may have had.
What is that? What does that even mean? Like, how is that possible?
You just take the supply times the price, and it gives you the market cap. So it's just basically what the price is trading at in relation to how many tokens there are circulating, and that's the market cap. That's just how much. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's $20 million in it. It just means that if everyone tried to sell, $20 million worth would come out from the buy side. Technically, actually, that's not true in some cases, actually, depending on the liquidity on the exchanges that it's on. If you have really big asset classes with trillions of dollars in it, you get closer and closer and closer to actually that being the amount of money there is in it. But in this case, it just is the price of it times the supply, and there's $20 million if there was enough liquidity of buy side from where it is now, there would roughly be $20 million. But this is when it comes to this kind of shit, it basically means nothing because no one's gonna. There probably aren't any buyers in the books to actually buy up the $20 million. But yeah, no, it probably had like a $200-300 million market cap and just got wiped out like that.
No, when Bitcoin crashes, will you get drunk and crash out?
Mate, I crash it every fucking evening. I'm about to get pissed off in a minute with Petey. We're gonna get the Weinstein fingers out. I get blasted up every night in a couple fucking bag hits.
No alt season, not happy. No happy. Yeah, what's going on with alt season, bro?
Guys, for fuck's sake, like I've been saying it from the beginning of time. The alt season happens when Bitcoin tops. Like I've said it for the beginning of time. I actually said at the beginning of this whole cycle, I was like, you're in Bitcoin first. Bitcoin hasn't realized its vision yet. We don't know how high Bitcoin's going to go. All the ETFs are connected to Bitcoin. All of the fucking institutions are buying Bitcoin. Even retail are buying Bitcoin first because you have to go to Bitcoin first then to get your alt fucking coin. Even if you want to buy ETH, most people do this. They go and buy Bitcoin first. Not many people go and buy USDT. Why would you do that? If you were interested in buying USDT, also where's like the sales pitch? Hey, come and use your US dollars and buy US dollars. Like not many people do that. They don't want USDT. There are some obviously instances of this. If you look at the volume, actually, let me get up some hard metrics for you, legends. If you look at the volume of USDT, it is the highest one. But guess what? That $135 billion worth of volume of USDT is mainly going in and out of Bitcoin. So $61 billion of Bitcoin. These are the hard facts. This is where everything's happening. So my point is if you're like, I'm going to buy my altcoin and wait for it to pump, yes, it can happen. But the problem is you need to bet on the thing that hasn't... You need to bet on the first horse. We've spoken about betting on the right horse, haven't we, Pete? In the last couple of fucking hours. You got to try and bet on the right horse. And at the moment, Bitcoin's the right horse because the growth story of Bitcoin isn't completed yet. So it's still realizing its own vision. And like, yes, there are going to be specific altcoins that will beat Bitcoin. But I'm saying that don't take the risk of making nothing to an easier bet of making something in the growth journey of Bitcoin. And when Bitcoin does finish its bull market, what will happen is when it finishes its bull market, people will sell Bitcoin. But guess what? The guys who came into Bitcoin, a lot of them won't go back into the banks. They'll then go to altcoins. They'll go to ETH. They'll go to Ethereum. They'll go to ADA. They'll go to Link. And then they'll start going up in price. And then Bitcoin will go even down even further because people will start chasing the new gains. Exactly the same with gold. Gold goes to $30 trillion market cap. Everyone starts buying gold. The exit liquidity of the idiots who are queuing up. Then everyone goes, let's buy silver. Guess what? Silver's going up right now. Platinum, palladium, and silver are all beginning their bull market. Let me show you this. This is actually exact. So gold's done this, right? Here's the price of fucking gold. Moonship, it's done its fucking rally. If you get a silver chart up, guess what? And you can do inflation adjusted on this. Let me load this crap up. Why have I got the ETF spreads? For fuck's sake. One sec. Let me bring up my actual charts. A new layout. Legends. Silver, and also if you do M2 money supply, so you do silver times M2 SL, it articulates it even further. But if I just take up a silver chart, so this is US silver. I've actually got it saved. I don't know why I just typed that back in. But look at silver, guys. Wait for it to load. Silver, look. Think about this. This is 2011. Okay, let me make this really simple. I don't want to go on a rant on this again. The purchasing power of gold in 2011 was here. Okay? Right? Now it's here. So the same purchasing power. The price of gold in 2011 was here. Right? This is where the price of gold was in 2011. Look how much higher the price is now. It's gone to the fucking moon. But silver is still very close to its all-time high. So silver's likely going to do something like this. It's actually doing it right now. It's probably going to go way higher. Absolute moonship. But guess what? Silver's going up and gold is likely coming to its top. So it's the same thing. Gold goes first because it has the highest amount of connections to the US dollar. It has the highest, actually, it's one of the biggest, it's the biggest market in the world for instant liquidity. US dollars buying gold and gold buying US dollars. We're talking trillions and trillions of dollars happening every single day. So everyone gets gold first because it has the most connections, the most exchanges, the most things, and it's known as the store of value, and it's known as the hedge against inflation, and it's known as the best money on the planet. So everyone buys fucking gold. Gold goes up. When gold eventually tops, then you're going to see things like silver do their moves, platinum, palladium. Platinum and palladium are even better examples, actually. They're like here. So platinum is like there in its cycle. Palladium's like here in its cycle. When gold tops and comes down, like it's going to in a minute, probably it'll go to 5,000 first, but it's going to go down in price soon. It's gone up a lot. So things like silver are then going to have their pop. Platinum's going to have that pop. Palladium's going to have its pop because people are selling their gold into other metals, which are similar. So it's exactly the same. I've been saying it from the beginning of fucking time. Bitcoin goes first. We've seen it already. Bitcoin's rallying. It's going to the moon. Look at the fucking... This is a logarithmic chart. So it's not as good as looking at actually this. So gold right now... Sorry, Bitcoin is doing its fucking thing. You would be stupid to just be buying all the altcoins. Like, they're all here. Like, it literally makes sense. Like, Bitcoin is doing its bull market. Look at the total 2 market. This is all altcoins combined without Bitcoin. Hasn't even broken its fucking all-time high. Bitcoin's like all the way up here. So Bitcoin, by the way, I said this 2 fucking years ago. Bitcoin goes first. The rally, the Bitcoin bull market has happened. Look at Bitcoin. It's literally, that's the high. Bitcoin's gone to the fucking moon. So you'd be stupid to have been in altcoins all this time because altcoins haven't even broken the high yet. But that will change. Because Bitcoin, when it hits its bear market, and I think it goes to these levels, I've already said it before, 142, 200. I think between here and here is the top for Bitcoin. And I think that makes sense with gold as well, because I think gold is likely going to have a few more goes at the highs. It's probably going to go to 5,000 and then down to 4,000, then to 4,800, then down to 4,200. Then it's going to go to 5,000, it's going to go to 4,200. And it's going to do this fucking great topping out thing. Bitcoin's likely going to do the same thing. I think Bitcoin does something like this. And then there will be a significant bear market for Bitcoin. It will come down in price. And that's when you're going to see these motherfucking altcoins go. Because when Bitcoin tops, exactly the same as when gold tops, people buy silver, platinum, palladium, nickel, whatever it is. That's the same as altcoins. Bitcoin goes first. And then when Bitcoin's falling, altcoins are going to pop because everyone's going to sell their Bitcoin to chase the alts. So it's kind of like, everyone thinks that Bitcoin and crypto is this like new thing and it's like so abstract from the traditional way of the world. It's really not. It's just exactly the same as the relationship between gold and other precious metals. Gold just does it in a slower way and Bitcoin does it on fucking steroids. Gold is the grandfather and Bitcoin is the ADHD child at school, the teenager. It's the ADHD teenager which can't concentrate, and gold is the grandfather who's got a long beard. He knows how to create a katana fucking samurai sword, and he's chilling the fuck out on his slow rise to the moon. That's what we're talking here. I hope that makes sense. Sometimes I talk for so long, I forget if it even makes sense, but hopefully it does. Tom Apspool. Oh, what, you were going to the UFC now, bro?
Yeah, it's just quite funny. Someone mentioned it in the comments, and I remember I saw this as well. I didn't actually watch the fight though. To be honest, I didn't even know it was happening, and it's been so long. I remember when it was like, when is Tom Aspinall gonna fight? Because he become the heavyweight champion just through some like nondescript Dana White just casually throwing off a comment saying, "Yeah, John Jones called me up and retired, so Tom Aspinall was now the heavyweight champ," and it all just felt a little bit like a bit flat, like
gay.
how they announced the UFC heavyweight champion, but so it's been ages since he was supposed to fight, and then yeah, apparently he fought last night maybe, but he got poked in the eye, and then the fight kind of got called off weirdly, just because I don't know, just
he got poked in the eye
too hard. Yeah, but you have like Michael Bisping, the guy who actually lost his eye and carried on fighting and lied about his eyes. So a lot of people are saying he should have fought through it, and then all the memes about casuals at home saying it was just poking the eye.
We took a real nice detour into the UFC from gold, but yeah, mate, I would say like fucking true. Like if you get a bad fucking eye, like you can't guess. I would say stop the fight. If you get like punched or not punched, obviously that's what you're trying to fucking do. But if you get poked in the eye, like that could actually be like damage. I would say that you shouldn't be booing the cunt either.
Yeah, it was a deep one as well. I'll try and get the actual.
Also, you shouldn't. I don't think people should boo UFC fighters. Like ever, like they got in the ring, like that's just fucking mental enough.
Listen to his Call Me A interviewing him. Do you remember when the guy who's holding the microphone? Do you remember when he was interviewed? When he lost against John Jones by Joe Rogan, and he was basically crying. I think Cormier. So it's funny to see him
play it.
in the ring doing all the interviews these
Make
days.
it full screen as well, so it's big. Oh, it's a bit slow. We can't hear it, bro. We can't even hear you now.
Oh, I don't know. If you can't hear it, I'm not too sure. Maybe it's the settings on.
Maybe it's because your computer shit.
Well, yeah, it is. Let's see if I can fix it up.
You'll be a good producer, brother. Maybe there isn't sound on it. Well, actually, that would be retarded. There is sound on it. Yeah, it's not working.
Oh well. Anyway, he was at the doctor's today, and yeah, it looks pretty. I could see kind of like the bruising around it and stuff. It does look quite deep.
Fucking, we'll do some questions for the end, legends. Ask us anything you want in the chat. You can pull up some other shit on Twitter, but ask us some questions. So we got probably not, though dice. What the fuck, Destructors. That's just my guess. Any time before end of March is good for me. Double eye poke, yeah, boof.
6th of November, the Bitcoin top. We've got rolling robot predicting.
What the fuck is Destructize?
Destructize. I don't know. He's just
is he just playing games?
Destructize. That's just
Cripple. What month does BTC top? This is the question everybody asks. There's no way of knowing, mate. There's no way. There's a great fucking quote. It's easier having time in the market than timing the market, because there's no way of timing what month it's going to happen. And if you did time it, it's just a guess. It's just luck. There's no way of coming up with any analysis or forward-thinking projection for you to get that right. There's no way of doing it, because there are so many unforeseen factors that can happen in the future. And also, these markets are chaotic as fuck. You got people just smashing green and red buttons. Like, do you really think you can just know when everyone's going to start smashing red? It's not a month thing. There's no way of knowing the month. All you can do in this game is analyze the charts to give you a probability by the market structure and the tools that you use to say there is a higher probability of it going down now than it did last week, or is a higher probability of it going down today than yesterday if you're doing intraday trading. Or on the macro, you could say in this period, there are lots of indicators saying that in prior cycles, that's where the top was. It's likely going to happen at some point in the next, say, 3 or 4 months. So there's no way of knowing, oh, it's going to happen in April, happen in May. I would say that if you were going to put a balance of probabilities on seasonality, I'd say bullish into the end of the year, sell in May and go away. Around that area, you're probably going to see the price come down. Of Bitcoin specifically. Gold's already started. But like I said, gold's going to do this, and it's going to take a few years. It's probably going to take between 6 to 18 months for gold to top. So it's going to go up, and it's going to go down, and it's going to go up and down for 6 to 18 months. It'll probably end up doing 5K at some point. It'll go to 4,500, like I said, 4.2, 4.8, 4.7, 4.2, 4.9, 5, and then it'll fucking top. Why would Chump pardon CZ?
Yeah, Trump just pardoned CZ, didn't it? And someone put
I posted that. I posted that.
Yeah,
Guys, it's fucking obvious why he pardoned CZ. Because CZ didn't do anything fucking wrong. He just pleaded guilty to all of the charges that the Biden administration put on him. He just admitted guilty to all of them, so his sentence would be less. Basically, just betting on the fact that I didn't do any of this shit, but maybe I'll get a lighter sentence and someone like Trump could fucking help me out. He didn't do nothing wrong in the whole FTX thing. And they're saying, oh, he did this money laundering and then he did some fucking, all this crap. It's like, it wasn't like he was malicious. It was more to do with the Biden administration wanted to prosecute him for the collapse of FTX because they needed someone to blame, got all the money off it, whatever. And I would agree with what Trump said, but actually Trump didn't make this decision on the basis of his own. He didn't make the decision himself. What he said, whether he's telling the truth or not, is up to you to decide. But he said that from lots of people that I know, they told me, who are known in the crypto space, that he didn't do anything wrong and you should pardon him. And I agree with that. Everyone's like, oh, he did it because Trump. Everyone thinks that Trump's like some sort of massive inside trader of Bitcoin. Firstly, it's definitely not Trump, because Trump ain't going to be a good trader. It's going to be maybe people in his family, like his son, his multiple sons actually, who might have some sort of way of, you know, moving the market in some way. But also, you got to remember that they're all building companies in it, like World Liberty Finance. That's just his sons building companies within. I don't think the Trump administration has anything to do with manipulating or trying to change the price. I think they just understand the value of what crypto is, and they're trying to use it in a way that can benefit themselves as well as everybody else. Because you got to remember, like, that's the reason everybody gets into these things. It's for the great thing about Bitcoin is that it will make you money because it has a growth story and it's better money than anything else on the planet. But also, it's just a bonus that it's really good money for society. It's not like there aren't many people in life who just start their crusade into something just for the premise that it's good for humanity. They firstly want to gain from it themselves, and then when you gain from it themselves, then you can think about providing for others. You got to put yourself first. Charity starts at home. Do you remember that one, Pete? Charity starts at home.
Yeah, I remember that.
We remember that one. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Careful with that.
Yeah.
Careful with that news story.
So we've got some people as well asking to look at some other coins.
Let's just chill and answer questions for like, I don't know, 10 minutes, maybe a bit longer. I'm quite enjoying the chill. What's this guy? I survived India's poop throwing festival. Mate, what? That can't. Oh yeah, you actually wait. Fahad in the building. My editor, my video editor and short producer, he lives in India. So shout out to Fahad. Yeah. He was there throwing shit all over everyone.
No, he wasn't involved with it. I think it's quite a very small thing, but obviously...
I don't think it's a massive fad. I don't think it's a huge event.
Yeah, I don't think everyone's doing it. But
I don't know why they would even do that.
It's a real thing. So it's cow dung, and they all... wait, I've got something else as well here. Look at this. Look at this one.
It's not a video of it. I thought it was a joke, brother.
No, it's not a joke. It's a real festival. You all throw cow dung around to celebrate.
Oh, thank God it's cow dung. I thought it was human.
Yeah, I did as well. From that YouTuber's video, because I can't actually find his video.
Mate, I just got it. I just got it.
Oh,
Cows are sacred in India. If you run over a cow by mistake, people will put you in jail or even kill you for that. Cows are sacred in India, so putting cow dung on you is like obviously some sort of ritual.
Yeah.
And cow dung isn't even like, guys, it's not actually that disgusting. Cows eat grass. They ferment the grass in their stomach and it comes out their ass. Like, it's not, I wouldn't recommend putting it all over your body, but I'm saying it's not like really disgusting shit.
Right.
Listen to me, brother. What would you rather? A dog shit on your head or a cow shit on your head?
Probably a cow because,
you're just going to say what I said.
I don't know. When I was a kid, I remember jumping in this. I thought it was a bit of like a bog, a swamp, but it was just loads of shit or something. And I was like up to my waist in it.
I've done that in the toilet when I was a kid and been in it myself.
And I thought I was going to get salmonella for a while off of it. But
yeah, a bit of chicken in there as well.
Yeah, but yeah.
Should we react to some funny memes or something?
I don't think I'd take. I don't think I'd take part in the poo throwing festival. To be honest,
in England we do the cheese run, don't we? We're kind of crazy as well.
Oh yeah.
You know, they run down the hill. I'm surprised more people don't. Well, actually, I don't know the numbers, but I'm surprised more people don't die from that. Because, like, mate, the way they go down that hill, like, you could break your neck fucking easily. I swear.
Yeah, well,
I heard Simon Cowell broke his neck by falling off a fucking scooter.
Yeah, an e-scooter. He looks fucking weird. He looks like he's wearing a mask.
Well, that's nothing to do with him falling over. That's all the plastic surgery in the fucking showbiz industry, isn't it? But I used to think Simon Cowell was hilarious, but like, I don't know. He just went a bit weird, didn't he? I don't know.
He was kind of cool back in the day. When we were growing up, we saw him. I don't know. Was that when I was growing up?
Yeah, American Idol and
talent shows, X Factor, stuff like that. I just remember him being hilarious.
The problem about X Factor is they dramatized it so much that it was like it turned into this like show which you would watch with your mother and sister, and they'd just be like crying. You're like, oh, fuck's sake. Like, it just got too much. It just got too, like, emotional. You should watch some funny memes, bro.
We've got some
we got up?
people asking about UOS as well.
Oh, God, guys. Ultra. It's one of those ones. You ever look at the price? Actually, what did it do when they had the altcoin purge? I've still got fucking nearly a million. I got like a million.
Hold?
I got, yeah, I got fucking like over 1 million tokens. I never sold any. Like, everyone was like, you sold. It's like, no, I didn't. I literally, I watched it go all the way to the top and all the way to the bottom. But I'm sticking true to what I've always said with these types of things. Amazon, all these fucking big companies, Google, Apple, they all went down multiple times, 98%. My bet was that Ultra one day can realize its vision of being a competitor to Steam. The problem is that might happen in 10 fucking years. But, you know, I've been talking about dApps and decentralized applications and all that new shit. I was in that game real fucking early. And the problem is, like I said a second ago, timing the market is very difficult, especially with, like, say, new ideas. Because ideas, like, it's about when you have a habit. Right? Everyone uses Steam because they've used it before, and they have their games on Steam. If you have lots of games on Steam, you don't want to move from Steam because you bought all the games on Steam. So it's like, once you have this kind of tailored habit of using the same program, you need to build something so good that it breaks the habits of millions of people. So a gaming company like Ultra, I do think what it's got in terms of its fundamentals is unbelievably good. Like, you can basically do a thing where you can buy a game, and then you can, like, trade it with your friends. You know, when you're a kid, you used to, like, give your CDs of your games to other people, and you, like, trade games with your friends because you wouldn't want to buy them, so you just, like, use them together. You can do that within the platform, which is sick. That would be a huge thing. And then you can rent them out, and also you can do, like, loads of network rewards for gaming as well. So if you refer someone to a game and they buy it, you get, like, a little kickback. Imagine on Steam, if you could, like, if I could send you a link, Pete, to a game, and then you bought it, and I got, like, 10% or 5% of what you bought it, you'd have a fucking massive explosion of people just, like, finding good games and promoting them and all that kind of shit. None of that happens. But, you know, everyone's, you know, Steam's just, like, it has a monopoly on the game distribution center. And for good reason. It is a good thing. Except they fucked the marketplace up recently. But I didn't have my net worth in skins.
Overnight, half of the market goes. That's mad, isn't it?
But Ultra, I've still got my investment in it. Like, the thing is about these things.
3, 2, 1.
Whoa. Oh, the audio's
working. It's back.
Again.
What is this? Play it.
No, what were you going to say about the CSGO?
Oh, yeah, I was going to say fucking... No, I was going to say that with Ultra, it's like this. If you make an investment into a new thing, even Bitcoin is a good example, but I'm saying if you make an investment to a new thing, you don't really know when that thing might win. So I would rather have my 1 million tokens or more of Ultra, and then it go up and down, go to the moon, go to zero. But I'd rather just hold on to it, because then I have the exposure to maybe this company being successful. Because if I went and basically bought it and sold it and bought it and sold it, every decision I make is going to mean that there's going to be a higher potential chance of me missing when it actually becomes successful. So I'd rather just have the exposure there. Yeah, the tokens are worthless basically now. Well, I think I've probably got, 1 million tokens times that by 2 cents. Whatever the fuck that is, 30 grand. But at least that I've got at least I can think in my head, well, if Ultra suddenly partnered up with fucking Ubisoft or Steam, I don't know, it's going to jump up in an instant, the price, because everyone's going to run and invest in it because of that great partnership. That happened with fucking Engine Coin, guys. I held Engine Coin for years, and then they literally partnered up with, like, Samsung, and it went like 50x, and I did sell, actually, to be honest, that back in those days. But I'm just saying that I'd rather have the exposure to maybe it being successful than trying to time it, because maybe, I'm not saying it will, but maybe, and I'm just going to hold on to my investment. And that's what I do with investments. Play the new... Oh, mate, it's Top Gear, isn't it?
Whoa! There it goes!
This is the golden era.
The golden... Make it full screen.
Yes! Oh, good, there it is. I've got it. There it is.
3 old badgers just watching a watching a fucking a whipper. Wait, what? It's going miles.
Is it gone? Anyone see it?
It's just a...
Ready?
No,
3,
that
2,
can't
1.
be real. Mate, that looks like a trebuchet from the medieval era.
Yeah, Jeremy Clarkson's bit of a legend with the whole Clarkson's Farm stuff. Someone said they actually went to that throwing cheese down a hill race and chasing it event themselves.
Yeah, they're
And
legends, man.
they said they thought it was crap. There's also a local wheelbarrow race in the town where you have to like run with your wheelbarrow and drink a pint along the way as well.
Yeah, that sounds lit. I'll do that. But mate, the thing is about the whole Clarkson era of Top Gear, it was just like a comedy show, mate. It wasn't even about cars. It was just sick. Like that was actually, I think more people tuned into Top Gear than any, like say, public show, because obviously it was funded by the government. It was funded by everybody's TV license. That's where your TV license money went, legends. It went into Top Gear, and like it was definitely the best and biggest show from a public domain ever. I think they had like 360 million people watching it, like every single week on Sunday night. And now you look at YouTube, and you've got these YouTube channels which just have Top Gear live forever. Have you seen it? So it's just 24/7 Top Gear clips just going crazy.
Yeah.
Mate, honestly, bro, they must. I don't know what the amount of viewership of these people is, but they're probably one of, or probably the most viewed humans ever in history. Like who has been watched more than this? Like maybe like a Michael Jackson, but he's dead. He had a short run. Like they've been doing this for 30 years. They might be the most viewed humans on the planet. I'm trying to think of someone who's got more views than. I don't know.
I swear he is trying to be an MP now, or there's rumors around Clarkson trying to be an MP and then.
Yeah. Well, apparently he bought all the farm. He got into the farming thing because there used to be like zero inheritance tax on farms. And I think actually that's why a lot of people used to go and buy up farms in terms of retirement, because if you went and bought a big farm in England after your 50 years of work, when you pass it down to your kids, there was no inheritance tax, which I don't agree with, which is ridiculous. Why should you just pay 40% to give your shit to your kids? It's absolutely ridiculous. But I think that's one of the reasons that he did it. And then obviously the government came around the other day and were like, well, actually, we're now going to tax inheritance on farms. It might be one of the worst decisions a government has ever made, because there is an example of this with the Ming dynasty or the Mao dynasty, and they went after the farmers. They started taxing them a real hard fucking bargain, and they started taking them out or even killing them because they thought the farmers were hoarding all of the wealth. And I think they lost like half their population because of that. So I don't know if this is going to be a good run, because like if you're going to force farmers, I don't even know what it even means. Like if that means to pass down your farm, you're going to have to pay a huge inheritance tax, which means a lot of people are going to sell their farms to people who probably aren't as good farmers as them. And then you're just going to have really bad farmers taking custody of massive farms. I think there's probably going to be a bit of a backlash on this. I don't know exactly, but it's not going to be great. Wait, is TV license £170 now? You know about that?
I actually don't know.
Yeah, you don't pay it.
It's the microwave. No, I don't know. Well, actually, I do remember being a student, and the license people came around, knocked on the door, and it was a housemate at the time. She let them in, and then we were just all in the living room, stood around the TV, just like, yeah,
we don't use it.
We've got a TV, but we don't use.
Mate, when they came to our university flat, we locked the door and then we threw potatoes at him.
Yeah, well, that's how you've got to deal with them, isn't it?
We threw potatoes at him, and then he rang the police, and then the police broke down our door and came into the flat, and I pretended that I was asleep. So it was so funny. So he came round at 5 p.m. We pelted him with potatoes outside the door. I think some of them probably landed some pretty sharp shots around the fucking cranium. And then the police busted into our place, and I pretended to be asleep. And then the police officer came into my room and grabbed me by the scruff of my neck, bro, and threw me outside. And I had to pick up all the potatoes because I was a bit of the ringleader on it. It got a bit hectic.
Yeah, that can happen. There's so much stupid stuff that happens at uni, but it was actually some of the best times, I think. What about this one? Look at this.
Real nice philosophical point from Pete. Chainlink 2021 $52, 2025 $16, minus 69%. Oh shit! Look at that fat guy at the bottom as well. Looks like a burgie. Big Mac 2021 $5.60. Oh, yeah. Well, this is what I'm talking about. Like, the issue is if you actually no, wait. Technically speaking, if you did buy a Big Mac in 2021, it actually doesn't rot or erode. So technically speaking, you could buy Big Macs and then not tell anyone when you bought them and then resell them at a higher price. It actually might be a good investment because they don't rot or erode. So it's exactly the same as gold. It's fucking burger gold.
I've seen loads of people putting them underneath those glass jars, and then they literally no mold or nothing for years.
Bro, the best advert I've ever seen is they have a McDonald's burger and a Burger King burger, and then they speed up the time, and the Burger King burger rots, and then the ad is like, we don't use artificial preservatives or artificial flavors or hormones in our food. And it was literally showing a burger, a Big Mac. Sorry, it was a Big Mac and a Burger King, and they were like, we don't use preservatives. That's why our burger rotted. That's fucking class. That's a class act. I'm gonna go buy a fucking Big Mac. I mean, a Burger King.
Yeah, I might need a little burger now as well.
Should we go grab a couple burgies? I'll fly around yours. Let's take a flight from Dubes.
Yeah, let's get the Macas in.
All right, legends. Good stream, man. I'm happy everyone joined in. I'm looking at the curve, the viewer curve. So we had at one point 108 people watching, and we were probably talking at that point about gold. So
I love gold.
I love gold. Bong the blitz, waffle in the grape. It's like he walks in and goes, "You look tight as a tiger in those tight little pants," and he's like,
I haven't watched any of these films
he goes,
in years.
He's like, "You look like a tight little tiger in those tight little pants," and he goes, "Excuse me?" He says, "I love gold. Would you like a bong in the blitz or waffle in the grape?" That's fucking genius, mate. Who is it again? You know his name.
It's
Mike Myers.
Mike
Myers, I do think, was probably one of the funniest. That was actually probably one of the funniest films. And obviously you know that he was just all the characters. It's actually hilarious.
Yeah.
How the hell did they even coordinate that? It was sick as. Anyway, boys and girls, see you on the flippers. Have a good one.